Is that
Not everything from UPC is truthful.
No. Well,
not everything.
What is not?
Not everything.
Okay.
Anyway.
What is the line?
Anyway. That's for another day. I want to hear your generous and honest opinion on the just concluded general elections. If you asked me before you come in, I honestly believe, Mr. Ochieno, that we don't need presidential elections in Uganda going forward. Me, if you asked me, I would say, let us save these 71 so trillion shillings, and the lives that we lose in every election cycle, and the tension we put on our country, the investors we scare away, the money that we push into this obvious exercise, I would say, please, let the status quo remain, if you asked me. But let me hear from you.
And Museveni and co-rule.
Let the status quo remain. If Joseph Otieno has been the president, let him lead until he dies. And when he dies, let him give us...
The status quo is not Ochieno. The status quo is Museveni. So we allow Museveni and his NRA to rule until cows come home.
Because even if you don't allow, that's what it is.
That is very
better the devil.
That's very definite for a panel.
Better the devil you know than the angel you don't.
Don't say that when Traore is hearing. He'll be very disappointed.
No. I'm just being fair. I'm just being open-minded. Ochieno, what does it help me to say we are going for an election? Choose a leader of your choice. You collect our money, 71 trillion, you push it into that exercise. Tomorrow, you kill, you maim, you torture, you arrest, you detain people who do not agree with you. So what we didn't want comes actually, but at a cost. So why don't you come and take it on the table? Come and take it. Amin was a great leader. He openly said, yeah, according to you.
No.
To me, he was a great leader. He was truthful. He was truthful. Every bad person has one good thing about him. Amin was truthful. He would tell you, I want that man's head. No, wait. I want that man's head. He's being open. Another one will tell you, no, you leave him. But as he's saying, you leave him, he's actually sending his commandos to pick your head. So tomorrow your family goes back to report to him that, our man is missing. He says, oh, are you sure? So I will compensate your family. So, Amin was better. Tell me what his head so that I run away.
Okay, if you say
I run away if I'm to run away.
If you say Amin was better, that is fine.
Andrew Irumba Live. This is the name of the show. And the host is Andrew Irumba Katusabe. Emperor Andrew Irumba Katusabe. Welcome to yet another edition of the Andrew Irumba Live with my elder brother, Comrade Joseph Ochieno Pintek, the UPC strongman, the permanent spokes for the dead and the living Milton Obote, the idea, because the idea is still living. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ochieno.
It's a pleasure to be here. Happy New Year to you.
Hey, this is our maiden show in 2026, isn't it? This is the first one.
Where did you go?
I went to Toro.
You guys, man.
I have been monitoring elections in Toro sub-region. I was posted in Toro sub-region. I've been there for the last 2.5 weeks. I just come back.
Why didn't you also get me as an election monitor?
For you, you're a UPC man. You're already biased. Even if I took you there and Museveni won, you would say he has not won. You're biased. Me, I'm not.
Until UPC prevails in this country.
You are given opportunity twice. Twice.
We won elections twice, yes.
Yeah, you were given an opportunity.
We won elections twice.
What did you do? There's nothing you did really that is of significance.
No, bandits and terrible losers in this country connived with foreign forces twice to overthrow not a UPC government, but the UPC-led government of the peoples of the Republic of Uganda. And until Ugandans realize that the government that was overthrown in 1971 was their government, and it was not UPC being overthrown by the future of the people of Uganda. And 1985, the same thing. You will be dragged on and dragged on and dragged on and dragged on like. And it is Satan, the devil, that will be celebrated.
Joseph, how is UPC this morning?
You know, UPC as headless, chicken-like, and as leaderless as it is, we're actually better today.
You cannot be headless and then you are better than others who have actually heads. You are headless and you're saying you are better than me with a head.
No, we've been headless for some time, but
Yes, then you can't be better. You can't be
you,
better, for instance.
you really don't
You
like
can't be better, for instance, than NRM, which has a head, and that head is even the head of state. He's the chairman. You can't be better. You can't be better than DP, whose chairman, whose president is even a minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, and is not even an elected member of parliament. Peche. So you can't be better. You can't be better when you're on. You don't know who is the real leader of UPC.
Is that why you refused to salute me earlier when I arrived?
I didn't know whom I was saluting. I would salute you, then Jim McKenna says, I'm the one you're supposed to be saluting. So until you finish that question there, I am hesitant to call you the party president, the party chairman. I am just calling you a party member. Of course, a national leader at that level, a leader.
I want to say that UPC today, you asked me how it is, but it is in a far better position than it was 1 month ago, and I'll explain.
1 month ago.
Yeah. UPC, as of this morning, has 12 members of parliament.
Hey, 12?
Yeah. 1 month ago, we had 11. UPC today is the third largest political party. In fact, the largest political party, because NRM is not a party. NUP is a wave, yeah?
It's a wave, not a party.
And should they turn into a political party, we wish them well. But UPC, at the moment, in terms of representation in parliament, with the named political parties, we are the third largest. And that is no mean stuff, considering that we arrived where we are without an official head.
So in your wrong understanding, NRM is not a party.
It's a political organization of sorts.
UPC, NUP is not a party.
No, NUP is a party.
You said it's a pressure group.
It's a party.
You've changed.
It's a party, yes, okay. I've changed. Yes.
You've withdrawn your statement. Very good. Okay. It's good. It's fair enough to realize your mistake and then you do. It's good. Now, okay. Now, Ochieno.
But you're not congratulating us.
It's what I'm coming to.
You're not amazed.
No, it's what I'm coming to. It's what I'm coming to. You had me saying, okay, Mr. Ochieno, and you saw me reading.
Good man.
You saw me reading on what I had written on my note, because you're the one that told me.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ochieno, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Now, these 12 members of parliament of UPC, sorry, I beg your pardon, UPC, Uganda People's Congress, the oldest party in Uganda.
Yes.
To whom do they pay allegiance as their party leader? And who signed on their papers to go and vie for membership, for member of parliament on UPC card? Who signed for them? And where do they take the allegiance?
The allegiance, I hope, the allegiance is to the Uganda People's Congress. The allegiance, I hope, is to Uganda People's Congress, and I hope the 12 legislators, plus 1 or 2 others I'm going to have conversations with, including 1 or 2 others who I know, and I'll explain, are completely committed UPC members, except they stood as independents. We'll be going to the National Assembly to represent the interest of Uganda People's Congress as founded by old Milton Obote. As of the time for nominations for president, you know that we had no official leader as per the Electoral Commission. And in the meeting with the chairman of the Electoral Commission, where the 4 of us met, I asked the chairman of the Electoral Commission, as a concluding remark, that the disputes over who is leader, the legal disputes who is leader, should not affect members of the party who would be standing for parliament and other elective positions. So it was very clearly the case noted that that would not be interfered. However, in a continued attempt, I think, by Jimmy to seek to get himself onto the ballot, they went to court. But although court declined to reverse the position of the Electoral Commission, court directed that they should stay, the Secretary General of AKENA should stay on to validate the papers. So that's a bit
For
of a
the members of parliament.
For the members of parliament.
So
yes.
the Secretary General is the one who signed on the papers.
So you
The
would,
Secretary General of Jim-Akena.
yes.
Okay. So it means they're paying allegiance to Jim-Akena's faction.
They cannot be paying allegiance to Jim McKenna's faction because Jim McKenna is not leader of the party. But if you want to say so to please a few people, let it be. But giving a political and a legal response.
Their papers were signed by the Secretary General of Jim-Akena.
The Electoral Commission directed that Fred Bill,
Yeah.
who is Jimmy's Secretary General,
Secretary General.
stays on to do that process only.
Exactly.
I think maybe let me emphasize that.
Appointed by Jim-Akena, isn't it?
Yes, to do only that.
A specific assignment.
Yes, specific assignment.
Yeah, on behalf of the leader of UPC.
On behalf of Uganda People's Congress. These people who stand on party ticket stand to lay allegiance
to the party, not
to the
the
party,
individual.
not individuals. So even if really, and by the way, this is something that I find very irritating. Politically,
I'm irritating you.
politically in this country. No. I want to explain something.
Okay.
I see people, even people, members of parliament, except those who are trained by me, they should stop going around saying my people, my people. That's very patronizing. Electorate are not properties of individuals. No party leaders necessarily owners or political organizations. They're basically elected representatives to serve the purpose of the political party. So the allegiance is to the party, but of course as directed by a leader when the leader is democratically elected. So that's the context. But if you want to say so, yes, that is as far as that goes. And in a way, you ask an important question that now post this election process which we are concluding, what happens and who basically is in charge of elective situations. I hope that is resolved soon. I hope that is resolved by the different interest groups in the party. And I hope the really long overdue legal issue, which the judge promised us on 28th November, that she would make a ruling definitively on the direction of who is exactly leader, would come out soon. I have stopped losing sleep over it because I indeed lost sleep over it, and to focus on doing the best of what I can and wait for whatever the outcome should be. But we hope that happens soon so that we're able to remobilize and regroup. There is something massive that happened in UPC. Osinde Wangwar, who was once upon a time a friend of Museveni in the early 70s in Dar es Salaam, as a young lawyer, was my last UPC member of parliament in 1980. Convincingly elected, he defeated DP 32,000 votes to, I think, about 10,000, and went on to become the government side chief whip. So that's the last official government chief whip. In this election concluded, UPC's Fred Jalameso beat NRA's chief whip, Dennis Samson Oboa. So that is a big news, big news. Of course, you will say that Betty Amongi lost to Acheng Ruth. Something also significant that I need to say for the record is that Maxwell Akora, who left Maruzi, went and stood in a patch, lost to the person who was an incumbent UPC member of parliament, whom he defeated in the primaries. So I think we carelessly lost up to 3 parliamentary seats out of some of our internal ways of doing things, including maybe intrigue, which is very unfortunate. So Had some of those things not been on this alone, had the processes gone on properly, we would have ended up with about 15 members of parliament. But I can tell you that had we gone into these elections maybe 12 months early with a clear leadership and no conflicts, like I predicted here, we would be having maybe about 30 members of parliament. And in terms of the organized wave, we could easily have been the official position. In fact, friends of mine, including in NRA, around the time when Jimmy was having some of these conversations and some of post-Dokolo elections, opinion was that we could easily be the official position. And on the basis of the numbers of NUP, it's not impossible to suggest that if 12 months today ago, we had a clear UPC leadership, it doesn't matter who it is because it's not about myself. But so long if we had one clear leader, and UPC members ought to get this, if we had one clear mandated official leader at Uganda House, whoever it was, and all of us were together as a party. I mean, there are always internal issues in the party, with a clear leadership in the party headquarters, and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, at least with Ochieno, with the kind of energy that I have, going around the country. We were going to pick seats in West Nile, we're going to pick seats in Bukedi, we're going to pick seats in Teso, we're going to pick seats in Bunyoro, and definitely we were going to pick seats up to and including Karamoja. But this is for the future, I can tell you that. And quite clearly, we had candidates, sorry to conclude, to tell you this about the state of UPC.
Conclude.
You may not know that we had candidates in Western Uganda, things that people don't know. And we had candidates in the East and West and across the country. We did have candidates.
Okay.
Yes.
Very fair enough. I wanted to give you the first minute since this is a new year.
Yeah.
It's our maiden show in 2026. I wanted to give you some time to discuss your UPC issues.
Thank you.
Let's cross over to national politics now. Comrade Ochieno, I want you to hear your generous opinion. Generous, I quote, you know why I'm asking you. Sometimes you are biased. This time give me a generous opinion about the just concluded elections. What's your general opinion? What did you see? What did you anticipate? What future do you see for Uganda in terms of elective politics?
When was the last time, and any time when I was ever biased?
Sometimes when discussions are about UPC, you're ever fronting UPC as the number one in everything.
Of course it is.
So sometimes I find it a bit, and of course I understand you because you have studied, grown up, and you're going to die in UPC. So I understand that's your dear party. But some of us who are independent-minded,
I don't know what you call independent-minded.
I mean,
just
I am not
concede
inclined
that
with
some
any,
of you guys who
I am not
were born
inclined
under NRA,
I am not inclined
and
with any political
you
affiliation.
got fed into NRA crude propaganda, particularly against UPC.
UPC also had crude propaganda.
When we tell you the truth, it's like a shock. Is that what you mean?
Not everything from UPC is truthful.
No. Well,
not everything.
What is not?
Not everything.
Okay.
Anyway.
What is the line?
Anyway. That's for another day. I want to hear your generous and honest opinion on the just concluded general elections. If you asked me before you come in, I honestly believe, Mr. Ochieno, that we don't need presidential elections in Uganda going forward. Me, if you asked me, I would say, let us save these 71 so trillion shillings and the lives that we lose in every election cycle, and the tension we put on our country, the investors we scare away, the money that we push into this obvious exercise, I would say, please, let the status quo remain, if you asked me. But let me hear from you.
And Museveni and co-rule.
Let the status quo remain. If Joseph Otieno has been the president, let him lead until he dies.
And
when he dies, let him give us...
The status quo is not Ochieno. The status quo is Museveni. So we allow Museveni and his NRA to rule until cows come home.
Because even if you don't allow, that's what it is.
That is very
better the devil.
That's very definite for a panel.
Better the devil you know than the angel you don't.
Don't say that when Traore is hearing. He'll be very disappointed.
No. I'm just being fair. I'm just being open-minded. Ochieno, what does it help me to say we are going for an election? Choose a leader of your choice. You collect our money, 71 trillion, you push it into that exercise. Tomorrow, you kill, you maim, you torture, you arrest, you detain people who do not agree with you. So what we didn't want comes actually, but at a cost. So why don't you come on and take it on the table? Come and take it. Amin was a great leader. He openly said,
wasn't.
yeah, according to you.
No.
To me, he was a great leader. He
No,
was
wasn't.
truthful. He was truthful. Every bad person has one good thing about him. Amin was truthful. He would tell you, I want that man's head. No, wait. I want that man's head. He's being open. Another one will tell you, no, you leave him. But as he's saying, you leave him, he's actually sending his commandos to pick your head. So tomorrow your family goes back to report to him that, our man is missing. He say, oh, are you sure? So I will compensate your family. So, I mean, it was better. Tell me what his head so that I run away.
Okay, if you say
I run away if I'm to run away.
If you say Amin was better, that is fine. And if you also say that, well, at least Amin could say that I want that head and he gets that head. But to call him great, I don't agree. But anyway, you get my point. As a Pan-Africanist who is trying to build for the future, I reject the huge amount of mess that Idi Amin did, except that currently some of the excesses we never saw even in Amin's time, which is basically the point you're saying.
So that's what I'm
and
saying.
I think I've also agreed with you that sometimes you keep on wondering, why don't we just have a benevolent dictatorship and we stop pretending that we're going through these electoral processes? But unfortunately, we don't have a benevolent dictatorship. We have something which is sort of seemingly worse. But you then asked me to be generous. The generosity is that, well, these guys know what they're doing. They've been around for 40 years. That is good, give it to them. That is generosity. I did not know and I did not expect, especially after the first 1 month of elections, and we discussed with election campaign, we discussed with you, I did not see the violence that emerged after the first month of presidential campaigns. I still don't understand whether or not it was necessary. I think after that very insulting exercise of internet shutdown, and Ugandans kept on kneeling down, nyongo, nyongo, no change.
What is nyongo, nyongo?
That was terrible, man.
What's nyongo, nyongo? Is that an English word? Nyongo,
We are
nyongo.
Pan-Africanists. We can also, once in a while,
Is that an English word?
we can use one or two African words and expressions to emphasize, to make emphasis.
It's an African word, okay.
Yes, it's an African word, but it's not a vile word.
No, I
It
know,
is
I
just
know,
it's
I
just
know.
a frustrated word that
I know, you can't
Bambi.
you can't go beyond the belt. I
No,
know.
yeah. So then results are released. For the first time in my life, I was like, you wake up and all of a sudden you don't have access to your email, to your WhatsApp, which is a standard way of communication, and not because you need it, but because the whole world is using it, and that is the only way in which you're going to be reached by most people, and you can't send money, and you can't receive money, and you don't know what's happening next door. Newspapers, the nearest place for newspapers is 2 kilometers away. You walk down there, they're not there. You haven't been warned. Some arrogant chap just came out and said, we're cutting off internet. And by the way, for me, I only realized it when I was seeing the thing saying connecting. I had just concluded an interview with Al Jazeera Network about 45 minutes, 30 minutes earlier, just by some good luck. And so I left that to come and do my administrative work and begin to prepare for the later day, the evening. The expectation was that in the unlikely event, I thought that internet would be shut down. It would be the eve of the elections, not the previous day. But can tell you the sense of arrogance that these guys have. But worse, these guys shut this thing down. Traders, including the woman from whom I buy fruits, says she uses WhatsApp, not really detailed internet, WhatsApp, for her customers. And that woman is there. Interestingly, this is, okay, I nearly want to give her name, but she's a woman from the cattle corridor, you know? And I'm saying, what nonsense is this? That woman has got no access to the trillions you're referring to, the stolen money. She's just down the road. These are the people from whom, when we come from town and we come from the other end of Posh Intinda, you want to retreat towards them and then buy one or two fruits and give them some business of 500 shillings that they're going to get as a profit from you, you know? So that is all that happened. Anyhow, we go through these things, then results come out. You know, when internet then gets restored and you begin seeing the videos and you begin hearing some of the stories, of course I was following some of the stories, then you see videos of people critiquing ballot papers. And then you see videos where sort of seemingly security services are almost apparently accomplices in this. I said, really, after 40 years? Maybe Andrew Irumba is right that we don't need elections in this country.
Honestly.
And what number do I give these guys in their regime as far as this process is concerned? You know, in normal times, these guys should be, you know, tried and taken to Luzira, I think. So, very unfortunate. And then, of course, eventually the atrocities that were committed, that now cameras never caught and cameras may never catch. Interestingly, there is this mad argument that NUP are violent. In fact, almost an official narrative that's what describes them. And that security services if they were not vigilant and they're not vigilant, this country will break. And you see Mr. Museveni in his presentations, and I noticed that with some of his yes men. You know, these days they don't have many yes women in the media. They used to have, those days when Winnie Byanyima was an expert yes woman, they had quite a few yes women, you know.
Winnie Byanyima was also once a yes woman. Winnie Byanyima was so critical. Winnie Byanyima, Betty.
When I keep on telling you,
Miriam Matembe. Winnie Byanyima, Miriam Matembe. Who else? Those people used to speak up. Even when they were in.
No, they're good at speaking up. You know,
so Byanyima was never a yes woman. No.
She was the auspicious spokesperson for propaganda for NRA. By then, you were still in primary school. Yeah.
Now you're kicking me in the back.
No, in a good way. So I don't blame you.
So there was a time when Winnie Byanyima was also yes.
So yes, you can't believe it. But I brought it as a context of historical conversation around NRA. Because in any case, one of the most unacceptable things is seeing Kizza Besigye struggling in jail, almost apparently related to politics and democracy, and so therefore
it is
politics of disagreements.
His detention is political.
Elective thing, and so therefore your point about whether or not we did elections. Number two, it's really heartbreaking seeing the way Winnie talks as wife of Kizza Besigye. And now for me, who knows slightly more than what you do and some of the people know, you could see this woman struggling with restraint. And then I say, what a heartless lot sometimes we have amongst ourselves. I'll talk about my friend Sarah Birite later. But you're asking me about the election, and Sarah's case may almost certainly be related.
You can link him. You can link her in.
So really,
she was part of our journey.
What credit do you want me to give to these people? So even in the most unlikely event that NRA won these elections, particularly presidential elections, and in any case, actually, and maybe my friends in NUP may not like it, I would actually think that maybe on the basis of my own assessment, and it's not scientific, that maybe if they came and say the thing was close race of 54% and maybe NUP 45, whatever, I would have said maybe it was close or something like that. And of course, as usual, you always go ahead and say it was that close, they decided to do it like that, whatever the case. But on the basis of what we saw, doing rounds in the videos and some of the things that we've had, it's very difficult to believe that Comrade Museveni won by 70%, number one. Number two, it is extremely difficult to suggest that the total number of what the opposition leaders got is representative, considering the limitations in the campaigns and then the manner in which these guys paraded security services. And finally, that Comrade Museveni has been campaigning for the last 4 years going around in the name of his broken PDA and others, and using all statutory institutions as available for them, while opposition leaders have got all their limitations, including maybe Chagulanyi. But however, that said, I want to say that my other, because you can see how I'm scientifically objective I want to try and be, as I always.
You want to be generous enough and fair enough.
I think the democratic opposition, forget about the numbers which they may not have had control of. I wanted to see more of them. I wanted, for example, to have seen and felt Robert Chagulanyi and his team beyond the boundaries of Buganda enough, notwithstanding the restrictions by the state, because of course that's the argument they would make. So I'm making a rough, balanced argument as I possibly can. There are certain areas where I feel they did not do enough in terms of presence, in terms of issues, in terms of articulations. The other political organizations like that led by Mafabi and Muntu are people whom I thought represent established organizations but with reasonable experience. I saw them as coming as presidential candidates rather than people who were preparing for elections. In other words, by the time you become a presidential candidate, it's one thing, but where were you 2 years earlier as far as engaging the citizens are concerned? But again, when we say this, they'll again say, Ochieno, you forget that this thing has been skewed by NRA. I'm saying totally yes. Then if you link that to the parliamentary elections, why I'm saying totally yes, but the but is this. I've always believed, and that's why I may not agree with you fully on let's ban elections. I actually have a belief that it is actually possible that if a critical number of Ugandans mobilized and a critical number of Ugandans organized, and by the way, the one point about the opposition I was going to talk about was opposition unity or lack of it. I think maybe if they had been much more cohesive together, they could have done slightly more. Whether or not they won was another thing. I think then if you look at the way parliamentary elections did take place, forget about some of the madness we see in Buganda, some of the Sechikubu things which already preset things, is that strangely enough, you can count, and I don't want to, you can count out of 10 parliamentary seats where you saw the voters resolved that they're going to vote for particular individuals. Either in NRA, other political organizations, NUP, but there are particular cases where voters did that. And so for me, and for you as a fourth estate scientifically, one of the things we need to do is leadership. I think that if Ugandans woke up and came together, common agenda of organized alternative political forces, maybe we would be able to do a lot more to make it more difficult for NRA to abuse the security services and NRA to abuse the electorate. The jury by-election, the jury re-election process was, say, one as an example, where you clearly see the structural organization of, on the ground by local party leaders, guided, of course, by some of our more senior colleagues, from England, from outside the constituency. You do, the people would be able to do sufficient door-to-door work, sufficient synthesization, and a resolve by polling agents that are not compromisable to say, if these votes are ours, we'll try and get it. That evening, I know that there was an incident that involved the candidate plus some of the other leaders, including some of Jimmy's colleagues who were allegedly surrounded. I believed that. I got some of this information. I was next to one of the journalists at the time. They got the clip from the candidate, and that clip was circulated. I was one of those who circulated it. But I also picked up the conversation from there by engaging various people, including the relevant agencies, to say, no, this is unacceptable. Now, whether or not that mitigated sufficiently the following day of elections, I don't know, including speaking to the officials, including district officials, including the RDC. So it is possible that when we are more organized and coordinated, we're able to mitigate this. And that's why it's important that people like Sarah Bireti, who you call it NGO, I think civil society organizations are extremely important. I was shocked that Sarah was arrested.
I wanted you to link her up with the future of the NGO world in Uganda, because the reasons why she was arrested apparently is allegedly sharing the data, the data that they say was a preserve of the Electoral Commission. But NGOs and constitutionally, this information, to my understanding,
It's public information.
Is public information. But now, I want you to link that Sarah's issue with the subsequent closure of other NGOs, including Chapter 4 and so on. Yeah. Go on.
So on the one hand, as I said, if we are more organized, more coordinated, and more resolved, it gets harder for the powers that be, in particular in this case the state, to blackmail and bully the citizens. But on the other, as I said, is that the more organized we are, would be the better. And indeed, the more organized we are, particularly around civic governance involvement, where civil society organizations come in slightly more handy. As you said, you talk about biases. When the civil society leader talks, regardless of their known political position and support, they're more likely to be believed. They're more likely to be part of an organized collective than maybe if Ochieno is talking because people think Ochieno will be driven by UPC's interests. I think the state knows this. I think they do know this. So they had to get what a certain top national lawyer told me, that Sarah was effectively their voice. Now, this is a lawyer of a top national stature. This is telling you that many people are muzzled, many people are living sort of in fear, many people think about some of their jobs, many people may not necessarily have the courage, many people may not necessarily, know, but they don't have the sufficient capacity to articulate the manner in which Sarah was leading the civil society organizations on. So going towards elections, it would not have been surprising that these guys must have been concerned that it should have been a bigger voice, which is a voice that we missed for the weeks leading to the elections and maybe middle after that. And now, of course, she's been quite curtailed, although the other day she at last got bail, which is very unfortunate. But then, as you rightly say, from the arrest of Sarah, then comes the closure of other civil society organizations. Now, I don't know who advises Mr. Museveni.
His advisor.
does this guy really look back to himself of those 1990s, 1980s and 1990s? You know? To the extent that you can muzzle opinion that you don't agree with, to the extent that you can muzzle merely civil society organizations, to the extent that you
Civil
can...
society organizations are not mere. No, they're not mere.
No.
These are very significant.
Yes, but they
and
don't, they don't come, what is government, NRA was in the bush, but, civil society did not face what I'm saying. Civil society organizations, civil society organizations don't come. Look here, civil society
I don't think
organizations
during
don't
your
come.
there were so many civil society organizations that were even vocal. I don't think you had opened up that space.
Can I tell you who had closed them?
Civil society organizations in your government and Amin's government.
Who had closed?
Were they there?
No. Compare Mr. Museveni's government with Amin's government, but not UPC government. Leave us alone. We belong to a different league. But let me tell you something. Actually, the prevalence of civil society organizations on the African continent, I'll frame it another way, is actually a ringing indictment on the crudeness and failure of the state. Did you know that? Civil society organizations, you might think you're making a big point, to discredit UPC. Of course, from a political perspective, for argumentative perspective. But no, we did not need many civil society organizations. But those that were there,
why did you need many?
Because I'm coming to tell you that. Once institutions function, once the rule of law prevails, once medical services are there, once educational services are there, why do you need many civil society organizations?
That is according to your opinion, Mr. Ochieno, that during your time in power, that all those things were flourishing. That is your opinion. Museveni today, in his opinion, he thinks he has delivered more than you. So why would you say, because we are delivering everything, we don't need a lot of civil? That is according to you. According to Museveni, is also exactly how you are thinking, is how Museveni is thinking. He's saying, we have delivered everything. Why do we need these civil society organizations to come here and start making noise for us? Moreover, some of them have been used by the Western world to promote wrong things here, like LGBTQ and others. Start undermining the government and so others. So exactly how you are thinking is Museveni was groomed by Obote.
Not his bad manners, no. But let me tell you this.
Because you're thinking the same.
No, not his bad manners, no. Let me tell you this.
No, you're denying your own son.
No, he's the son of DP. We tried to take him to rehabilitate him, but he jumped off. Museveni is the son of DP, and he talks about it. But no, for us in UPC, we take all Ugandans very seriously, and we grow them regardless of political opinion. And that's why we gave Museveni a job, knowing very well he was a DP child who had got his degree, so he worked. What I'm saying is, one time get Mr. Museveni and Mr. Ochieno to debate with figures, okay, and to do history. So when I tell you the facts and they say it's my opinion, and the same Museveni would say, of course he would say so. I am saying this to you that after 40 years that people fundraising and all sorts of small groups being grouped, the young girls who graduate, and when they've graduated, they start CBO. Get what these NGOs are. They start organizations for sanitary pads. And they start that as a job. And once one goes on and she has been pushed off for a job because she refused to go for lunch with some average person, whatever, they leave and then they go ahead and start an agricultural group, civil society, in as long as you have an educational system that is all-encompassing, a health services which is all-encompassing, a judicial system which is all-encompassing, law and order agency, the police. Did you know that Uganda police, as of the time when Idi Amin came, the special branch was rated sort of amongst the best in the country. In fact, Uganda needs a special branch and public service We had the best on the continent. Did you know that? Our special branch was equivalent to FBI equivalent training, not FBI of Bush of Trump these days. So no, we had fantastic. So detection and prevention of crime in Uganda was amongst the best in developing economies. So in as long as you have that, where do you get these master guys who can get BCJ or do whatever? You know, in Sarah Bereta's case, one of the things the other day was the first day when she appeared, deciding to deny her bail. I'm saying this without prejudice. Was that the state is yet to come, and So in others, you arrest somebody before having investigating sufficiently. You arrest somebody without actually providing evidence in before court. Actually, ideally, particularly in this case, after Sarah had appeared in court after 48 hours, which the law says, technically the magistrate should have told the state that you guys, if you don't have the evidence,
why did you arrest her?
Why did you arrest her?
You bring her when you have evidence.
Let her go, something like that. So you can't compare that with the UPC administration time. So now you have organization. No. You have civil society organizations.
UPC, this never used to be taken to court.
You have civil society organizations that are many.
You want to sanitize UPC.
No, I can come back to UPC, in the dirty way that you might think, but unfortunately you will not get it. But let me just make this point. When you have broken systems, civil society is the alternatives. That's why I told you a senior lawyer tells me, Sarabireti, so their voice. Civil society organizations will be down there to speak on behalf of the police. They will go, they'll be out down there to speak for women who are battered by domestic violence. Something that should have been done by a local police or local community. So when systems fail, many of these agencies crop more. But most importantly, many of the things that these guys are doing are things that should be done by central government and local government. I repeat, countries with more civil society organizations are countries with systems that have failed and budgetary systems that don't apply. Think about it. Go to Scandinavia and count how many civil society organizations you'll find there. There are not many.
Okay. Now, I think you have finished the Sarah Bereta issue. You have finished the general elections comment. So let's end up with the Bob Wayne saga.
Can I conclude with something on Sarah Bereta's? Just that for the record, I'm one of her sureties.
Yeah, I saw you. I've been seeing you.
And I think this is a public interest. Sarah's brother is a surety.
Who is that?
He's called Joseph. He's in the village, Joseph Bianja.
Joseph the Younger. Hey,
Yeah.
Joseph the Younger is a brother to Sarah Bereta.
Yeah.
I've been seeing him there. I was trying to connect the connectivity, the relationship. I was not getting
Yeah,
it.
apparently not many people.
Sarah Bereta, the Younger is my comrade at NAB, National Association of Broadcasters. He's our CEO. He's formerly working with the NMG. He's my friend, NMG. He has been the head of radio programming at the NMG.
You're making my point.
Yeah.
Do you know what the state said?
No.
When he was presented as the first surety? The state said that he's not a significant person, as he doesn't qualify.
Why?
Because his job is merely that job, and he has not even presented a bank account. You didn't follow that?
No.
It was very funny, by the way. But this Matemba was annoyed. I mean, it was this guy.
He's a CEO
One.
of NAB,
Yes.
and he's a very renowned person in the media sector. Very significant.
Thank you, young man. Number two, Winnie Kiza. Yeah? Presented as the second surety, and Winnie Kiza as former leader of opposition.
Yeah.
The state said she's merely former leader of the opposition. In fact, it said, please mark merely, former. Mark the word
Merely
former.
former.
No, not merely. Former. Mark former. Huh? Shoot number 3, Ashamed-Ochieno. They should be president of Uganda People's Congress. The woman wrote it as would be, but doesn't matter. The woman said, they would be president of Uganda People's Congress, and these broke people. She didn't present it as well. Finally, actually, it is same power. former ambassador. You know, it was very funny. So I just need to say this actually. We found it very funny that the state could dismiss all the four of us as nobodies. By the way, my colleagues, particularly the female colleagues, felt quite insulted. And I felt very, very sorry. But anyway, the magistrate, in her own wisdom, and by the way, our lawyer, Jude Biamokame, fantastic guy, man. Jude is a fantastic lawyer.
Jude Biamokame.
You know,
He's a Mutoro, so you should thank us.
made a very...
Should thank us. By the way, we produce very good lawyers. We Batoro. Are you aware? Batoro produce very fantastic lawyers. You know Adolf Mwesige? You know how Adolf Mwesige, the now cracked parliament, challenged his own boss, Attorney General former. That was, he was from Nakaseke there. He died recently. Chidu Makubuye, you remember?
Yeah.
He was his deputy. You know, he challenged him legally on West's detention. Chidu Makubuye had advised the government that, and the court, that West could not be nominated for president because he's in jail. But remember, when you're in jail, you're a suspect. You have not committed a crime, you're simply a suspect. But for Kid Makubuye, he had decided that for as long as you're in jail, you're a criminal. It is actually VSJ to be nominated. That time, was it 2011? It is because of Adolf Mwesige.
Okay, keep boasting. So, in her wisdom, obviously we were a bit disappointed that Sarah had to stay for another 1 week when the magistrate decided that
let her go through the papers. That takes 1 week.
Yeah, we're a bit disappointed.
That takes 1 week to go through somebody's papers.
Yeah. But
this country, yeah.
When we returned on Wednesday, and I'm glad to say that in her ruling, and in terms of wisdom, she made very considered observations, including reminding us, presented by our lawyer Jude, that it is about us and our status and figures. I don't think that there are many sureties that you'd count in that kind of group of category. So Sarah is out, and we hope that that this matter is expeditiously resolved, and that she gets her full freedom and returns to the urgent work of nation building. We need reconciliation in this country, but we also need the truth in this country. But we need to kill arrogance. I think we need to kill impunity. We need to kill entitlement in this country. We need to kill the idea that it will always be a few individuals. History is lagged with quite a huge amount of some of these things, but why people don't learn, I don't know. When you're shaking that thing, I thought it was a rosary, but so
this is Thomas Sankara.
Thomas Sankara.
Yeah, I love him.
You love him.
This is the incarnate of my now elder and my commander, Traore. Traore of Burkina Faso.
Do you think Mr. Museveni
I got this from him.
Do you think Mr. Museveni listens to Traore?
I don't know.
Have you ever tried to interest him?
Museveni? Where would I get him? I'm a poor boy. From Toro, Fort.
Oh, your poor boy. Which reminds me again about the submission of Sarah Pirete's case. So basically, no wonder people don't want to leave jobs. According to these people, immediately become a former. You're broke.
Yes, you're broke. Yes.
Immediately become former.
Broke.
You're broke.
Yes.
So no wonder people would take these positions and don't want to leave. No, but you're not broke. You're not broke. Sankara is a fine guy.
Yeah. So now, let's finish with it. Let's go to the last point. Use about 3 minutes on this one, because we have overshot our time.
2.5 years.
Now, Bob Wine is the front runner for Museveni. Yeah? After elections, Bob Wine is allegedly being witch hunted by the security forces for a charge that has not been disclosed up to now, but they are looking for him. This is confirmed by the CDF himself. And even the fact that they went inside, broke into his home, looked for him, they could not find him, got hold into his wife, did whatever they did to her, and finally she finds herself in the hospital, in some hospital in the following morning. And she says, I stopped understanding, knowing what was happening in the world for some time until this morning when I find myself in the hospital. So in other words, there was a point where she could not quite be in charge of her faculties. So to understand again, she's from Magere to Nsambia. How she went there, how she arrived there, how they arrived at where to take her, she had no idea. She only found herself there. Government in ping pong. One spokesperson of government saying, we have no interest in Bob, we're not looking for him. If he's hiding, maybe he's his own games, playing his games. But then CDF comes on Twitter and says, we are hunting for him. Now, that's why I told you when you go back, my conviction is that we don't need elections. Presidential. We can have other elections, but presidential we don't need. Ochieno, Bobi Wine standing against President Museveni, was it a crime? Now you have won me. Instead of allowing me to nurse my wounds, you're witch hunting me. It would be me, having that anger, feeling bad about everything, who would be doing everything bad to make you feel that I am offended. Instead, it is you who has won me, who is doing everything to show that you are disappointed. You are disappointed over what? You have won the election. Why don't you allow the loser to nurse his wounds in his home in silence? But you are the one now sulking. You want his blood. You want his life. So, I don't know.
It's not Muhoozi who won the elections. It is his father. It's his father.
Yeah, but you need to understand the connectivity there. You need to understand. As I speak right now, the newly elected spokes, and the head of Uganda Media Center, do you know him?
I saw
He has just been appointed a few hours ago. This is a close buddy of Muhoozi, and I know B of Namirianga, I think. Something like that. And not B, yeah.
People are lucky.
Yeah, so, and he's my brother, Kasuja.
I need jobs, man.
Alan Kasuja is my brother. So
you guys and things.
So we are going to be in things at Media Center.
You guys and things.
I once worked for him, not officially, but unofficially. When he was hosting the
breakfast show?
No, the Desert Island Discs on Capital Radio. He gave me an assignment of looking for him guests. He was not looking for him guests. I was working at the Red Paper, but because I had a lot of connection with these government people, and he needed my network, so he assigned me. It was an official. It was late. It was not official, but an understanding.
That's why you guys and things. But why did
you
never find my number?
I'm the one who used to get him Brigadier General Kasirye Gwanga. Kasirye Gwanga was very prominent there. Betty Kamia and these other people. I'm the one who. So when he comes to the media center, I am already in things.
That's why I tell you you're biased. You refuse to give me my number.
No, by then I didn't know you, my brother. This is a long time ago.
No.
Yeah.
I was already a global citizen.
I know, but you were not here. You were still staying in. You were in exile. You were in exile, and we had no connection.
Exile from NRA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see how we UPCs have suffered under NRA. No, I was more recently hosted on the deserts.
Desert Island. It must have been very interesting.
So yeah.
I know you you have some good choice of music. I know that they ask some music.
Yeah, but I need to revisit but it was very interesting.
I'm sure even you used to dance. You used even to do some break dance in your heyday.
Oh, break dance.
But
you can imagine I'm shy, but I still did these things. But no,
so let's go back to Bobi Wine.
No.
What's your opinion? What Bobi Wine is going through? Is he supposed to be going through it as a presidential candidate?
No. I'm telling you, the last government this country had was UPC.
Again, Ochieno also. Ochieno. We have had a government
I am
for 40
emphasizing
years.
to you, never, and by that I'm serious, at no time during any of the UPC administrations would you find leaders of opposition facing what they did, except Obote 1, in which Ben Chiwanuka was detained. But Ben Chiwanuka was detained for the plot to overthrow the government with evidence, and that is an established fact. In fact, part of it was linked to the assassination attempt on Milton Obote at Lugogo. 1. 2, the ministers, the so-called detention without trial. So you realize that I bring these things for a reason, to emphasize today and to build us for the future. So, Obote 2, we had this terrible loser who's now enjoying that is winning, but I don't see the crowds in the streets of Kampala enjoying the streets for his winning in NRA, okay? NRA loses in Nyabushozi. Instead of going to court in Barara, they go to court in Kabamba. For 4.5 years, NRA were fighting and beating and killing and maiming and causing instability in the Greater Luwero and the outskirts environs of Kampala, a little bit of Mukono, possibly after Matuga. In Parliament, DP officially was known as having one leg in Parliament and another leg in the bush. They themselves said that. In fact, Wenje said that and boasted over Andrew Mendes' show, And I think Itariko, Robert, one of these people later served on 7, said they were not given credit enough. After all, they were very busy working with these people. Now, these people were doing that, but no member of Parliament from the Democratic Party ever went through an iota of a tiny little thing that Kyagulanyi is going through. Paul Semugere, throughout, so you can see the point I'm making, throughout was my brother Semugere. So at the end of the usual parliamentary sessions, as it should be, Obote side by side with the leader of opposition, as it should be.
Who was that by then?
Paul Semugere.
Was the leader of opposition?
Yes. But this is the opposition that is actively backing rebels. But in Parliament, you'll turn to one another, you call one another name, because that's what happens in Parliament, You make your point, the other side makes their point. And then you finish. So in 1980s, Obote 2 government, that short-lived government that you want to taunt us off, we never saw this. So to make your point, Kyagulanyi has lost elections which he's disputing, elections that possibly, even if he lost genuinely, he's got cause to say that many of his supporters and members have been still in jail, others cannot be established, are killed, others are missing, Really what you would expect of Comrade Museveni, with the power and authority of the state that he does have a sense of humility and say, elections are done, let's now move on. Where is my young brother, call him whatever name, whatever. This young man, young brother.
My son.
My son, come
my
here.
Son.
My son, indeed, my son.
Yeah.
Bobby. Come, let's have tea, Even tell him that, look, I'm still here until another 5-10 years, but you're very lucky, I'm jealous of you. Joke about it with him. Joke with Kyagulanyi and tell him that, look, I'm 80, I may be in power until I'm 95 before I retire to go and look after my goats. But for you, you're still 40, so it is still possible. Give me a chance. In 20 years' time, you'll still be younger than me. So maybe whatever. He listened to me. By the way, he was telling Sky News something very interesting about his argument about wisdom. That, he took wisdom from those previous leaders and things like that. And so in other words, you young guys will take wisdom from him. I'm not saying that is a logical thing. Try and do that. Make life difficult for the young man. Let the young man be the one to refuse to come to talk to you. You lose nothing.
But in this case, will Bobi Wine accept that?
And that's no. That's what I'm saying to you. That you'd rather
because this is radicalism. I can never sit with you. I can never talk to you.
I'm telling you that because at the bottom line, I've always argued about this.
Because those who try to talk to Museveni from the opposition, they brand them more.
No. Follow me very critically because I've been on this. You know that I'm amongst the longest opponents of Museveni. and his regime, officially, but and no apology. And in fact, in the national political arena, I am the longest serving critical opponent of NRA, But I recognize that NRA in charge. I don't throw stones at Entebbe, But I also recognize that children of NRA are children of this country and they're part of the future, just like our children. But I also recognize that, unfortunately for them, NRA reign will end, whenever it is, it will end. So sometimes some Uganda will emerge. Some of what I do in terms of mentoring, as you know, is I engage young Ugandans across the political divide, because I'm saying that let them, maybe by some chance in 10, 20 years' time, even when we're not there, it's not even my choice, let some young boy or young girl emerge as a leader, but let them emerge with the right attitude. It may not even be a UPC person, but with the right attitude, so that they bring us together. So it's completely unnecessary what is happening. But then, again, I get confused. Nabanja, the dancer, said yesterday that
why did you have to add
because
that?
she likes to dance, which is not bad, She likes to dance. So, should I attend a party where she's I'll those days when we're dancing in the villages, you go and wherever you collect the girls, or the girls come and collect you. So on this occasion, if she doesn't, I'll throw my chance and say, come on, madam, let's tell me kinyoro. I told Nagongera, we low guys, we can dance too, So we do that. So Nabanya said what? That no issues for Robert. Young Mr. Mhozi also says that in his streets are conflicted.
Yeah.
One bit of
Today
it
he says this, tomorrow he says the other.
Yeah, so it's not clear.
I don't know.
But short bit of it, if it is the case, and Chagulanyi, Robert needs to come out with this. As you said at the beginning, did Robert design this thing for himself? So I'm giving him free advice, because if he doesn't come out and categorically state, amidst all this NRA mess, it should not show that NUP leader is trying to strategically play opportunistic media thing, which I doubt, on the basis, as I said, what happened to his wife, Barbie, and what has happened to his members. I doubt that he's playing it. But if anything, he needs to come out very clear and clear the air. But whatever happens, I hope that common sense prevails soon, and that there is harmony in the political establishment, which, as you say, is unlikely, because there are really crude hardliners in NRA. And I also know there are one or two opposition groups with a few individuals in the oppositions who are extreme hardliners. Whatever the case, my message to them is that this country belongs to all of us. And NRA will have its day, and NUP will have its day. UPC, we had our day, but I'm extremely confident that our better days in the future. It is possible for the UPM now, NRA's day, can be again in the future after 110 years, and NUP days can be another in the next few years. That's possible.
Well, thank you so much. On that note, this is Andrew Irumba Live, and my guest has been Comrade Joseph Ochieno Pintek, the permanent spokes for the Milton Obote, the dead and the living, and is also a senior national leader of the Uganda People's Congress. According to the legal documents, Comrade Ochieno is supposed to be the legally elected party president of UPC, but he keeps complaining that Jima Akiana refused to move. So the legally elected president of UPC is outside the UPC office on Jinja Road. Am I correct or wrong, sir?
The legally elected leaders' declaration is still being held up in the High Court somewhere, waiting for the declaration. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Comrade Joseph Ochieno.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Good seeing you, and may Africa prevail. Were we here when Venezuela happened?
We were here when, yeah, we've discussed Venezuela.
Yeah.
And the next time I meet you, I'm going to discuss with you Iran and Trump and Greenland.
Okay.
We are going to go global now, the next time we meet.
But in conclusion, I am saddened that I want to repeat that Venezuela happened, and I'm yet to hear of any major African university having a demonstration or even a talk about the implications of
Yesterday,
Venezuela.
visited Venezuela's ambassador to Uganda Fernandez at Cement there. We had a film about the life of Maduro and so on. As Pan-Africans yesterday. I visited her.
Good.
Thank you so much. My name is Andrew Rumba Katsabe.